thanks for joining. Today, we're diving into the Tren Maya, one of the most ambitious transport projects in Mexico. I had the chance to experience it between Merida and Cancun International Airport. During this video, I will share with you everything you need to know, from booking your ticket to the onboard experience. I will also share my candid feedback on what I liked and didn't like, and what could come next for this train service. The Tren Maya is designed to improve travel across Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. It connects its main cities and many other locations for more development opportunities. As you will see, Tren Maya is still a work in progress. Will this train service continue to expand, or is it already hitting the buffers? Whether you're planning a trip or just curious about this railway, this video has you covered. So, let's get on board. First things first, booking your ticket. Visit the Tren Maya official website, link in the description. It would be nice if stations were listed in alphabetical order. You can also download the Tren Maya app, although it's showing as not currently available for my Android devices. Infants up to the age of 2 travel for free but without assigned seats. I am not sure why children up to 12 are noted separately, as they pay the same price as adults. Not ideal for families. Once you choose your train service, the next stage is to choose the ticket options. You would certainly expect prices to vary according to the class of travel. Two are available, Premier and Tourist classes. The big price difference is between national and international visitors. International tourists get overcharged by a whopping 30%. That's excessive and a major red flag for me. Tren Maya offers cheaper rates for local residents, disabled, elderly and students and teachers. The seat selection is the next stage in your booking. You can choose your seat at no extra cost. If you are keen on getting the best view, avoid any seat next to those grey lines. They indicate the window pillars. Otherwise you will end up with a seat like this one. In tourist class, you can also opt for another carriage, a good opportunity to find more seats or a potentially quieter section. Once the payment is completed, you will get an email confirmation with a QR code as well as your ID or passport details that will be checked at the station. The Tren Maya connects major cities and destinations across 5 states in southeastern Mexico. As the Tren Maya is a greenfield project, the stations are also newly built and typically out of town. Merida Station is no exception and requires a transfer by bus or taxi. Here's one of the smart electric buses connecting Merida Station to the city center. Sadly, the Tren Maya website doesn't offer any information on the connection to and from its stations. It's a big miss and should be an easy fix. The station architecture is modern. Quite a large building. The station features a vast atrium lined up with shops. Very clean, bright and safe. For arriving passengers, tickets for the bus into town can be bought from this distributor. With 2 passengers or more, a taxi could be a quicker and a better value option. As the station doesn't have a lounge for first-class passengers, I had a look at the shops. There's a Tren Maya cafe and even a large shop full of Tren Maya branded items. As well as a place for snacks, a convenience store and car hire. Tren Maya recommends arriving at the station at least 30 minutes before the departure time. Charging points would be useful for passengers. Check-in is smooth and quick, but no dedicated lanes for first-class passengers. Staff check my ticket and my passport. The station looks fully ready apart from a few details, for example the check-in gates and information screens. Merida-Teya is a major station with multiple tracks. It's part of the route which is electrified. The platform has signs with the carriage numbers so passengers know where to board. Most passengers seemed quite excited about their train journey. Level boarding is convenient for all passengers, especially those with limited mobility. The vestibule offers plenty of storage for large bags, as well as bicycles. there are more luggage racks. A few seats are arranged around a table, ideal for couples or families. The first class section is in a 2+1 configuration. The Tren Maya offers a nicely designed interior. Very stylish, I like the color scheme. The blue is inspired by the Caribbean Sea. Seats are quite comfortable. They offer individual USB ports and power outlets as well as a large tray table. The legroom is rather average. Unfortunately, the seats don't recline. You can move the seat cushion forward. The seats are comfortable enough for a short to medium journey. I don't think I would be too impressed after 4 hours. The windows are large for scenic views. A few seats are badly aligned with the windows, so be careful when selecting your seat. Mind you, if you prefer to avoid the sun glare, the window pillars could be a blessing in disguise as the windows don't have any blinds. And spoiler alert, the views between Merida and Cancun were rather boring. My train leaves on time. Thumbs up for punctuality. The free onboard Wi-Fi is very patchy, and there's no onboard entertainment, well, apart from a few passengers who prefer to use the speakers on their phones instead of headphones. So don't forget to download your favorite shows before your journey. The air conditioning proved to be reliable, a must in the Yucatan heat. It was in fact too cold on my outbound journey. It's perfect today. In first class, you even get at seat service, which varies according to the distance traveled. This is what I had for my 3.5 hours trip to Cancun. Let's go for a wander and discover the other onboard facilities. Good to see that a dedicated space is available for passengers with disabilities as well as accessible toilets.
Por favor, cierre la puerta. Please lock the door.
All in good working order. Next, a small bar area with a selection of drinks as well as snacks. Technically, passengers aren't supposed their own food and drinks. Talk about creating a captive clientele. Tickets include 2 bags, not sure how strictly this is enforced. The second class section has similar seats to the first class section. The first class section is really not worth the massive 60% uplift in price, so keep your pesos. Here's the speed. Tren Maya has a potential for faster train services. The trains are diesel-electric trains that can run up to 160 kilometers per hour. There are 6 stations between Merida and Cancun. Introducing more direct train services could help the Tren Maya to be more competitive against buses. The ride is very smooth and quiet. The National Guard provides the security. After all, the military manages this train service. All staffs including the military were very friendly and helpful.
Es que tiene dos vagones, ¿verdad? Son cuatro. Perdón, no vagones, máquinas. O sea, tiene una de cada lado.
As we approach Cancun Airport, I wanted to share a few thoughts on this train service. Despite the controversies and environmental discussions, Tren Maya offers a reliable, safe and punctual service with a decent onboard experience. I believe such train service has a strong potential with a few improvements. Tren Maya also faces some headwind with major budget cuts and passenger numbers well below expectations. If my train today was busy, my outbound train was nearly empty. Tren Maya should launch passes for multi-day visits and drop the higher fares for non-nationals. Given the volume of tourists to Yucatan, is it really necessary to antagonize your potential customers? It's also very unfair for non-nationals living in Mexico. International visitors apparently represent less than 5% of the passenger numbers. Whether it's by lack of awareness or visitors are put off by the inflated prices, it's a huge missed opportunity. This very much reflects my experience on both trains I took. The Maya train, envisioned as a major tourism boost for the Yucatan region, has delivered far less passengers than predicted, with the operation apparently averaging only 1,650 passengers daily. Tren Maya should be more creative with the ticketing to make its services attractive to visit the most popular historical sites and cities. The connectivity and information about how to go to and from Tren Maya stations should be improved and be faster. Please make it easy for visitors both in terms of information and by combining train ticket and local transit. On the route between Cancun Airport and Merida, ADO buses offer cheaper prices compared to the Tren Maya. Considering that the buses leave from the airport terminals and stop in the city center, the slightly longer travel time isn't really a drawback. So do check bus alternative or flights for longer distances. And finally, I wouldn't recommend paying extra for the first class. Simply not worth it. What's next for Tren Maya? The train I use today is the regular train service. Tren Maya plans to introduce 2 new services. One designed for long-distance journeys with reclining seats and sleeping compartments. The train sets are starting to be delivered. One with a dining car. Both look promising. The Tren Maya is being considered for an extension into Belize and Guatemala. Cancun is a huge station. Although most of the facilities are open air, the station is very breezy and the heat is bearable. Compared to Merida, there are more empty retail units. It's worth noting that the train station is not with a direct access to one of the airport terminals. It requires a bus connection. The buses are timed to help passengers to and from the station. Well, they leave very early, leaving plenty of time to wait. When you land into Cancun Airport, you will find signs for the Tren Maya inside the terminal, and then you just need to avoid any taxi touts to make it to the Tren Maya shuttle bus, which cost 35 pesos. Sadly, the Tren Maya website doesn't offer information on the connection to and from its station, so after I landed, I had to run to catch my bus. I am heading now into Cancun city center. The bus service terminates at the central bus station. Are you planning to ride this train? Drop your questions and thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next travel video.